What's up, horror fam?
You know what time it is.
And today we got Bill Von Veghel. Let's get into this. All right, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Bill?
I'm doing very well. Let's call this part 2.
Yes.
Even though
Part
one, I was going to say part 1 is the hidden episode.
Yes.
This is the one for ready for TV.
This is the golden episode.
The one you guys get to see. The other one is in the clouds somewhere.
Oh, it's somewhere, all right.
So, for those of you who don't know, Bill was on the show, technically.
and recorded a fantastic episode that my dumb ass deleted. So nobody got to see that but us. But hey, we had a hell of a time.
Oh, yeah.
It was good
What we're going to
time.
do is we're going to do the same thing blow by blow, just like we did the last one.
Do you remember everything you did?
My memory is like this, so it's going to be brand new.
Nice.
So,
All right.
Bill, why don't you introduce yourself to our people and let them know who you are and about your podcast and whatnot.
Well, it's an absolute honor to be on the Horror Chronicles. I've been watching you guys for a while, and I reached out to Gerald, and we kind of hit it off. We have a love of music. We have a love of horror. We have a love of ghosts and scary shit. So I thought, let's get her going. And Ryan, you seem to be right on the ball, so we're on the same wavelength. My name is Bill Van Veghel. I'm on 2 podcasts currently as a co-host, neither of them which I have to edit, so I'm very happy about that.
Nice.
The first I'm on is the long-running Land of the Creeps that's been going since 2012 with the wonderful Greg Mortis, and Dr. Shock Dave Becker. We're very interactive. We deep dive into horror movies. Our episodes, I'm warning you right now, are 4 to 6 hours long. So if you have a shift at work, we have a couple listeners that are custodians that put it on when they work, and by the time it's done, they're at least on half their shift. Yeah. It's a really good, it's interactive. We take phone calls. We do lots of jokes. Nothing's too serious. We would love to have you on. The other one I'm on is called The Phantom Galaxy with my good friend Nathan Bartlebaugh. It's horror and sci-fi, fantasy, action. We do movies, we do books, we do music, we do a whole bunch of, we just started one with animation. So it kind of goes a little bit out of the box. So people that kind of like their sci-fi-ish side of them, that's probably your outlet. If you're more hardcore horror, you're going to go to Land of the Creeps. But there is lots of horror in Phantom Galaxy because I make sure that there is.
Right. Hell yeah. Awesome, man. You are quite the busy fella taking on 2 podcasts at the same time.
And I'm an elementary school teacher in Ontario, and we're under a lockdown, so I'm teaching virtually. Nice. And I have a 5-year-old. So
and all those kids are on the show right now.
Yeah.
So
we're going to learn some stuff today.
So if I get 5 hours sleep a night, I'm damn happy.
Wow.
I feel you on that, man. Shoot. I got a 7-year-old and a freaking 4-year-old and full-time. Yeah, and a full-time job working at a delivery place, so we're busy as hell.
So we're breathing on fumes, but tonight I actually think I got 6 hours sleep, so to me that's like winning the lottery.
Hell
nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing cartwheels here in a minute.
Woo! Yeah. So yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for my boys.
Nice. Green Bay fan. Big Green Bay fan.
Green Bay fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys.
Boys did pretty good last week.
Yeah, Rodgers looked good. I think it's time for a Tom Brady carving.
There you go. Is that who they're taking on this week?
Yeah, they're taking on Tampa Bay.
Nice. Is that tonight or tomorrow?
That's tomorrow. So by the time this is aired, either I look really smart or really stupid. One of them.
Well, good news for you. We always look stupid when we air these. So.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, guys, so yeah, we wanted to get Bill on. You'll also notice, if you're not following us on Facebook, you better get over there and follow us on our Facebook page, guys. But he comes on the page and we kind of co-promote. You know, we like to do that kind of stuff and get the whole crowd together, our horror fam, their followers and listeners, and just get everyone together because why the fuck not? You know? Because
we're one big happy family.
He also kind of jumps in on our live shows too sometimes every now and again. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about some creepy shit, some movies.
And there's a really good chance you two are going to be on an upcoming Phantom Galaxy.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen for sure. For sure.
Because I just got a message from Nathan, and boys, you're going to be on our Halloween episode.
On your Halloween episode? Wait a minute.
Or no, sorry, Valentine's Day.
Well, that's scary too. So
that's scary too. And Nathan said what that means is anything that's you could want, say, on a blind date or a date night with the wife, what would you want to do on that night? Or something that would scare the heck out of you and, you know, make you want to become romantic afterwards. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Bundy
whatever it is. You want, if cannibalism gets your wood going, all for you.
Oh, I don't know about cannibalism, but
do you guys do video for that?
There have been some women in horror that have gotten my
no, we're strictly audio.
Sweet. So I'm going to be dressed up like Cupid, so no one's going to know that. But
he's going to be dressed up like stupid.
I'm going to wear nothing but a thong. My little tiny wings.
I got to sit next to those bastards.
Little tiny wings.
That's not all.
Yeah, or it could be a horror movie based with love in the theme.
Oh yeah, there's actually some really good ones. There's actually some good. You know what? I got some ideas too on that one. We'll talk about it later. That way we won't spoil the show.
For sure.
I was going to say my people, which is Nathan. We'll talk to your people, which is whomever.
Yeah. No one important over here.
Yeah, that's true.
We're all fucking. They're letting the loonies run the bin over here.
But as I was saying in the Lost episode, the great thing I love about you guys, about us, about the various horror podcasts, everybody's in the same mind thought. Everybody is in for the love of horror, right?
Yeah.
There are very few assholes. Everybody's there together. If you are a dick,
well, there's Ryan, but you know.
Well, but in terms of sharing content, in terms of everybody being together, you know what? The more the merrier. Like,
for sure.
I won't let people who like a certain type of, you know, I got no time for that.
You know, and it's like you told us the last time, you know, you're more of like a video file. I mean, you are a movie guy, and you know, it really impressed me what you said the last time we were on about how, you know, this movie isn't any better than that movie. It all depends on what you like.
You're talking about guilty pleasures.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking about my guilty pleasures.
There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, like I'm the type of guy that I could get anything from a dark fairy tale to torture porn and anything in between.
Yeah.
I may not like it, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we talked about it. We won't talk about it too much because it gets talked about a lot on a lot of different podcasts. People probably tired of hearing it, but like it's like, you know, Hereditary and Midsommar. A lot of people they like the mental fuck movies. Some people don't. They're not really for me. You know, when I watch horror,
I've dated some girls that
when I watch horror movies or scary movies, I like for them to fucking take me away from everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to think too much. I know it sounds stupid, but
I was going to say that there are times when you watch a movie where you don't want to think. You just want to see somebody kill somebody.
Yeah, you know.
Because the one thing Nathan and I were discussing is this year there seems to me an abundance of either slow burn horror or horrors with double layered meanings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they have their place. But sometimes you just want to see blood splatter.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to see Jason whack a chick up against a freaking tree with a sleeping bag.
Or sometimes you just want a haunted house movie.
Yeah.
And a haunted house means haunted house.
Yeah.
It's not a metaphor for aging. I just want to see
exactly.
Well, and like some of the haunted house movies, you get to the end of the movie and you find out that the dad was molesting the daughter, and that's what it was all about. And you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah, I don't know. You ruined the whole fucking movie for me.
Like I remember when I watched Babadook. And I watched it all the way through, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of people love the movie. It wasn't necessarily for me. It was well shot and all that. But then at the end, I realized it was a metaphor for women who are beaten. And I'm like, where is that coming from?
Exactly.
Yeah. Where I didn't get that out of there. You know.
No.
Yeah.
All I got was that annoying fucking kid. That's all I got.
Well, you know, you listened to our last episode, right? 20. So we talked about on there. I want to get your kind of point of view on it. We talked about the news about the new Conjuring 3, what it's going to be about.
Yep.
Go ahead.
You know what? I was just going to say, I will give it, I'm going in basically with an empty slate. I'll give it its shot.
Yes. 100% I'm going to watch it.
And if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Who knows? I mean, I heard what you talked about it, and it's about an actual court case documentation.
Yeah.
So it could have some quality to it because it's got a foot in reality. It really did happen.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how it's shown on screen.
Oh God, I just drew a blank. The movie with Jennifer Carpenter. Was that The Last Exorcism? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh, the court case one?
The court case one?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was The Last Exorcism is what it was called. You know, that movie went in a completely different direction than what I wanted that movie to go in. But when you get to the end of the movie, it was satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, because you've sat through the whole court drama. And I'm not a court drama kind of... Some of the movies are okay. I do got to say I watch Perry Mason a lot. But, you know, that's one... you know, I don't know. That movie, I feel like that's where this new Conjuring
I think the reason why we feel that way, well, us anyway, everyone has their own opinions. Like we said, everyone's cool. You're going to have your own, you want to watch what you want to watch.
Everybody's got their own opinions. It's just like buttholes, and most of them stink.
Yes. No. But, you know, I think the reason why we feel that way about that one is because in our heads, the Conjuring series and universe so far has been really fucking good, really creepy, you know, and then they go into more of a, you know, like you said, a court case type thing. And it's, to be honest with you, I mean, I kind of can already tell the way they're going to go with it for it to be horror. But it's just like there's not a whole lot of, it's not like he was a serial killer. The guy just killed one person.
Right.
And he said the devil made him do it. I mean, shit, there's a ton of motherfuckers who've done that. You know what I'm saying? Now,
but I mean, the counterpoint is, I remember number 2, and it got a little bit on the fantastic side.
Right,
yes.
Right. Yeah. That was
so maybe
if
they're reeling it back 80 degrees or 90 degrees, maybe it becomes a tight cohesive. Who knows? I mean, everyone's to its own, right?
Yeah.
You know, when I first read the short synopsis for that, without seeing any kind of, you know, preview for it or anything, when I first read the first synopsis for that, I almost did a freaking backflip, because in the synopsis they talk about a killer claims that he was possessed when he created these murders, and the first thing that popped into my head was the DeFeo murders in Amityville Horror, and I thought for sure, okay, they're going to tell that side of the story now, because Ed and Lorraine Warren were a big part of that after it happened. Basically, they went into the house about 2 months after DeFeo was convicted and went in, or I'm sorry, they went in the house about 2 months after the Lutz family left there screaming to do an investigation. So when I read through that synopsis, I thought, oh my God, they're going to do the Amityville Horror, which is a big story for them. Why they went in this direction is beyond me.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. But everybody has their own opinions on things. You know?
Oh, who knows? You know what? I'll just let it play out, because I remember enjoying the first one. The second one I thought was great started, but I thought the end it got a little, kind of jumped off the cliff a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know what to expect. Like, generally, paranormal isn't necessarily my bag, only because there's a lot of shit ones before you get to the good ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad paranormal. You know, somebody throws it together for $50,000 and they got themselves a ghost story, you know?
Yeah. Well, and you know, that's what's crazy. Well, that's the whole thing with Paranormal Activity. That first movie, they made, what was it, less than $1 million that they made it?
Yeah, something like
and
that.
Then
they have very low budget.
It grossed, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. They made bank on that. But my thing with that is like we always talk about, you know, everyone has their own views on things. Sometimes you want to watch like last night I watched Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. I watched that last night. I was like, you know what? I want to watch a Michael Myers movie. I haven't seen in a long time. So I turned it on. Sometimes you want to watch that. Sometimes you want to watch a paranormal movie. It just depends on your mindset, I guess. Last
night I watched The Wretched. Have you seen The Wretched?
Yes.
Yep.
I wrote down a list of movies, and that was one of the movies I was going to bring up.
Number one, as a matter of fact. That's the
Oh
first.
no, sorry, we're on the second page.
Ah.
Yeah. The Wretched was an interesting movie. I mean,
It was interesting. I'll grant you that, absolutely.
I didn't write down a lot of info about it. It was just one of those movies that popped into my head as I was scribbling stuff down, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I like it. I thought it could have delved a little deeper into the mythology of what happened.
Right.
I don't need to be spoon-fed, but I just think that was an area that kind of overlooked that could have gone a little bit more into.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they could have gave us a little more information on where this thing was coming from and why her. And
Isn't that weird though? How like some movies you want more info on, some movies you don't.
Yeah.
Like Halloween.
Halloween's one of those movies that the more you know, the less mysterious it becomes and the less creepy it becomes.
Well, have you seen the movie last year called Hagazusa?
No.
Hagazusa.
Hagazusa was 2.5 hours slow burn, and at the end, it didn't even pay off. And I'm like, fuck, I'm 2.5 hours into this thing.
See, that's how I felt about Hereditary.
Yeah, me too. But yeah,
no, Hereditary is not a bad movie. The second time I watched it, I understood where it was going.
Well, Hereditary is kind of a mindfuck movie. I mean, take a couple mushrooms and watch it.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes is not for everybody, and to be honest, I kind of just whatever. But that not to be a spoiler, but there's a scene involving a pole.
Yeah. It's been turned into a meme.
I thought was well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I had to sit and ponder that movie for a second. But
yeah.
So before we get all deep into this, we're going to ask you, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite, I'm going to give you my top 3 as we are right now. Tomorrow could be something else. But my top 3 pretty much are Texas Chainsaw, Tobe Hooper's 1974 classic film.
Nice.
Number 2 would be Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
And number 3 would be, you could argue sci-fi horror. To me, it's all the same. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978.
Oh, yeah.
Love that film.
Donald Sutherland. Yeah.
Yes. Love that film.
Absolutely. Great. And that was a fantastic. A lot of people don't know that was actually a remake from a 1950.
Yeah.
55, 56.
55 is what I was
Kevin
thinking.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
And that was a good film, but that one was all about the body snatchers are a code for the Russians.
Right.
They're coming. Whereas 79 get a bit more, there's a lot more social implications that were going on in 78, 79.
Yeah, and that's, I like how horror movies pay homage to other horror movies, and the ones like The Faculty.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely on my top list. But it pays homage to Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
The Faculty also pays homage to The Thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole scene about the blood and all that. That's a.
Yep. Yeah.
You talk about a movie paying homage to other movies. Scream.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
that
whole series is just one throwback to another,
I feel it's really the first 2, especially the first 2, they're very underrated movies.
Yeah.
Sure. What's the Scream pays homage to the one with Carol Kane with the babysitter where there's the phone call in the house.
Is that don't answer. Don't answer when a stranger calls.
When a stranger calls. That's the whole Drew Barrymore. That's what that is.
Yep. Exactly. And you mentioned Tobe Hooper a while ago. Tobe Hooper did one of my favorite films, and that was Poltergeist.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say Eaten Alive.
Eaten Alive.
I love that film. I love Eaten Alive.
Yeah.
But Poltergeist, I mean, that's a...
Eaten Alive. What? No. I think I'm thinking of something else where they had the lawnmower and they were...
No, Eaten Alive was the one where the guy owns a hotel in Backwater, Florida, and it's beside a swamp.
Oh, shit.
And the owner is nutso. And then when he kills people, he throws them to the side of the motel, and then the gator gets them. Kind of gets rid of the evidence.
Oh, there you go.
It's a really
good idea.
It's like hogs out here.
It's like Ryan's Hog Farm.
Yeah.
we don't care. We'll fuck with anybody. Eaten Alive. I need to check that out.
You've never seen it? Oh, you're gonna love it.
I've seen that.
You're gonna love that film. It's really good. It's a little slimy.
I like slimy.
And like the lighting is a little dark, and it's kind of got that. And I'm not trying to offend anybody Southern, but it's kind of got that Southern stereotype-ish, backwoods rednecky
hillbilly horror.
Florida. Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's
See, and that's the thing.
Yeah. And that's one of the movies you talk about that kind of horror. Wrong Turns. They've got a new Wrong Turn coming out this year.
I interviewed a while back Damien Maffei, and Damien Maffei is in that film. He said he's just one of kind of I guess there's the main guy, and then there's a crew of them.
Okay.
And he's one of the crew of them. I always, like I hate that term guilty pleasure, but that's one of those ones that you don't say so loudly you enjoy,
right.
But I like them.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys know I've told. Well, they haven't heard our last conversation, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite
old
movies.
Christy
ever.
Swanson.
You know what I mean?
Luke Perry.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland. See, my thing though, for me,
Paul Rubens' death scene is the best in that.
Well, this was cool about why we watch certain things.
Yeah.
For me, I love watching movies that are nostalgic to me, that bring me back to my childhood. They take me away from the stupid bullshit of the world. That's why I like watching certain movies, and that's why some movies are my favorites, even though you wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
because it just they take me away to a fucking different place, and I don't have to worry about no bullshit.
Right.
And
I'm the same way with Microwave Massacre.
Oh yeah.
I saw that when I was way too young, and I shouldn't have. And I'm that way with Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah.
Yes. Same. And that's like with me. It's like Night of the Demons. That movie was one of the first ones I seen.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't have watched it at the age that I was watching that. But I honestly, to be honest with you, we just watched that movie not too long ago, and it still holds up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a movie
it's a fun movie.
100%
it is.
It still holds up, and I love that. We talked about this before, and we'll probably talk about it on here since we didn't get it out there. But horror themes, music. You know what I'm saying? That intro to that is 100% 80s. Freaking.
If you go to Land of the Creeps, about a year ago, we did an all horror musical episode.
Sweet,
nice.
And our guest, our co-host Dave Becker, wonderful guy. You guys got to listen to Dave. He sang the one from. The one where he's the dentist with the plant.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
So we all went down our top 4 or 5, and everybody had Phantom of the Paradise and Rocky Horror, and there's 3 or 4 of them, and then you can kind of deep dive.
Ryan hates Rocky Horror.
I'm not a huge fan. I can appreciate it, but I will see it once every 10 years.
Right.
See,
and that's how I am. It's not one of those movies I have to watch, and usually if I do watch it, I don't watch the whole thing. There's just bits and pieces of it that I love. That whole Tim Curry and the Sweet Transvestite song. I mean, the Time Warp song. I mean, all of those scenes are just iconic.
Yeah. See, I'm sorry. I'm just a fucking. When it comes to certain shit, I'm just like it's just not for me. You guys can do what you're gonna do.
Freaking Meatloaf in the cooler.
It's just not for me. You know what I mean?
And is this going to lead to the talk of Uncle Peckerhead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Uncle Peckerhead. It was funny when I first saw the movie cover for that pop up. I was like, oh god. All right, I'll check it out. And man, I fell in love with that movie because it was right up my alley. I'm a music guy. I've played in bands all my life. And, that movie is all about, a band trying to get started and hooking up with the wrong people and, just one thing after another. And I honestly, I love that movie all the way to the end. It was a fun ride.
Much fun. But the thing with Uncle Peckerhead, it's almost like a comedy drama until the scenes of horror.
Right.
Like there's about 20 minutes, something happens, and then something horrific, and then and then something horrific. It's almost like you could chop it up into 3 half-an-hour parts, you know?
Yeah, it'd be so hard for me to be able to pick, you know, a favorite soundtrack or a favorite, you know.
Oh yeah, that's
there's just so
impossible.
That's the thing about horror. We talked about this before, but we're just gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna quit talking about that. But anyways, the music is what brings you in. So like for me, you know, we talked about it. Phantasm, one of my all-time top 1 or 2, period. And their theme song. As soon as I hear that music, man, this brings me into different time. Same thing with like, oh shoot, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street. You know,
Halloween.
By
that song's
far
iconic. You know,
that's everywhere.
You talk about music and movie. It still to this day blows my mind that one band could create an entire soundtrack for a film, and although the film is cheesy, the music makes that film worth watching.
Tread lightly.
And we're talking about Maximum Overdrive.
I love that.
Who made who? Who made you?
AC/DC did the best soundtrack of anything. I mean, that movie is so good.
I got eggs on.
Probably 80% of the reason why that movie's so good is because of the music in it.
Yeah. I was going to say, did Emilio Estevez do that before or after Young Guns?
I think that was right around the same.
It was about the same
time.
About the same time.
A few years difference there. Either way. I love Emilio Estevez. He's one of my favorite. Emilio. But
I mean, Stephen King was high as a kite.
Yeah.
And the director.
Dude, and we talk about it all the time. We quote it all the time. Hey, honey, this machine just called me an asshole.
Yeah. Honey, get over here. This machine just called me an asshole. Yeah, I love that movie. Like I'm for some reason, man, when it comes to horror and things like that, I love the battle between good and evil, the battle between that
Absolutely.
hunt. Just, you know, I like seeing that war wage, you know. Those are big for me.
Yeah.
That's why I like slasher movies.
See, and for me, one of my favorite things is like at the end of a movie when the bad guy wins.
Sometimes.
And you don't see that very often.
Sometimes.
Yeah, every once in a while it's satisfying to see it bleak.
Yes.
I like that. Like it's not just good-looking white girl with blonde hair walks away unscathed. Like some once in a while you need to have.
Dude, one of my favorite fucking guilty pleasures. Feast. 1, 2, and 3.
That's the one in the bar.
Yes. And it has like superhero or the hero of the movie. Yeah. Life expectancy, pretty fucking good. And then bam, he dies.
I have not seen the sequels. Are the sequels good?
They run back to back.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're
pretty good.
We did an episode on Feast, and we decided, we're going to watch that movie before we record, and we watched that movie, and man, I had a blast watching that movie.
It's one of those fun ass movies that.
And so that night after we got done recording, I went in the house and watched the other two.
Fucking, they're good. They run literally back to back.
They do.
They run.
Oh, do they? So it's the same time frame.
Yeah, they literally run straight through. And they're just fun.
When you go into the second movie, you see them leaving the bar and the car taking off. You know, they show you like the last 5 minutes of the first movie going into the second.
If you like that one, I just recently saw from 2020 VFW. Have you seen VFW?
I have seen the cover on my little thing. I have not watched it yet.
I have been wanting to watch that. My wife asked me about that the other day if I had watched it, and I told her no, I was waiting for you.
Who's the main guy?
She said, why the hell are you waiting for me?
Who's the main guy in that?
It's an ensemble cast. Fred Williamson, William Sandler, Martin Cove from Karate Kid.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of it. And what basically happens is there's a girl that ends up, it's at a VFW where the veterans go, and somebody slips in who has a bag of something that shouldn't be in there, and the people that want what's in there attack them from the VFW. So these are guys from Vietnam and one guy from the Korean War.
Nice.
So they're a minimum of 60 going up against these guys in their early to mid 20s.
Sweet.
And
they probably beat their asses too.
Because they've been on the killing fields of Vietnam.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I've been seeing that scrolling down my list on my movie thing. I've been like, man, my problem is that I have 2 little kids who love scary movies too. So when I go to watch them, they're, I want to watch it. And I'm like, I don't know if I can let you watch this yet. You're going to have to let me check it out first,
Yeah, let's watch Godzilla. Let's watch
Yes, because I've screwed up.
Go Godzilla.
Well, I screwed up with my first son by letting him watch stuff that I don't know. I probably should have started him off with something a little different. But, it was stuff like, The Conjuring and...
Yeah, my 5-year-old loves Godzilla. She loves it.
Yeah. See, my son, I fixed it. I backtracked on it. Didn't let him watch scary movies for a year, so he kind of got over it. And now they're watching Goosebumps and things like that scare them. Are You Afraid of the Dark and things like that?
You know which one isn't bad actually is The House with the Clock in the Walls.
Yes. Yeah, Jack Black.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah, that actually was a good movie.
Talked about showing homage. There's lots of homages in that one without being all the way over.
Oh yeah. And there's so many movies like that it's weird now that we have all these different streaming services. You've got these Netflix originals, which they're putting out some killer shit right now. Amazon originals, and they're putting out some great movies. It's really hard when you go in and you start looking at, okay, what did 2020 offer me? And then you've got Netflix original, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Amazon,
Well,
and
now,
it's like,
the one that
because all the theaters were closed.
Well, the one that isn't available to us that you guys have, I'm in Canada, by the way, if people don't know.
Yeah.
We don't get the Peacock TV. You guys
got
the Peacock one as well. And we don't, I don't know if we have Hulu either.
I can't watch that because it's got cock in the name. It's just got something about that.
I need to send you a little gift to where you'll be able to watch whatever the hell you want to watch.
Is it gray in a box?
It's in a box, and we'll talk about later.
I was going to say talk about a box. I just watched a film called The Special.
Yo, dude, I want to watch that.
Oh, if you've ever seen the Saturday Night Live skit "Dick in a Box,"
yes, my dick in a box.
Yes, yeah.
But it doesn't.
I saw you post that the other day, and I was like, dude, look at that cover. I gotta see that movie.
The last 20 minutes does not end the way you think it's going to start. Like there's a bit like it's got a lower budget. It's about, for anybody listening or watching, it's about a guy whose wife he thinks is cheating. His buddy takes him out to a house of ill repute. And he said, go in and ask for the special. And everything kind of happens from there.
Right.
So I don't want to give too much more away. It's lower budgeted, so sometimes you got to just kind of go with it. But there's some homages to David Cronenberg in this film. I'll leave it at that.
Sweet. You'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. But, I've been slowly but surely trying to educate myself because I'm a huge horror fan, of course. I was, deep into werewolves, vampires, and then slashers really got to me.
Did you look up The Beast Must Die? Did you end up looking that one up?
I looked that one up. I can watch it. Haven't watched it yet. I also got Rent-A-Pal.
Oh, yes.
Got it. And what was the other? Hunter.
Yeah.
I got those on my little list.
It was funny. I was flipping through my Fire Stick today, and I was looking, and I was trying to think. I was trying to find this movie that I had watched, and I couldn't remember the name of it, and I just kind of lost it. But as I was going through, I started clicking on all these movies, and like Hunter popped up. I'm like, oh, I got to save that, and so all of these movies, I need to get to them. I've had a lot going on.
There's an app I have on my phone which you guys should get called Letterboxd.
Okay.
Letterboxd. And what it does is you can track every film you have watched. You can rate it. You can follow other people. You can give reviews.
Cool.
Because I used to have a nice, beautiful spreadsheet on my computer on an Excel, blah, blah, blah. My daughter was about 3 and learning to walk. And she walked on it and fried the hard drive.
Oh.
So everything I had on there was kaput. So now on your phone, I have this one here. It's called Letterboxd on the top.
Okay.
And Letterboxd.
Gotcha.
Now, for people to see, it's Christopher Lee is on the back.
Yes. Is that a Horror of Dracula?
Horror of Dracula.
Yes.
We talked about this last time on the Ill-Fated show. My favorite vampire film is The Horror of Dracula because Christopher Lee can make the women wet and the men get scared. Like he's got that
absolutely
presence to him.
You know, and I think for us, you know, you and I are the same age, so we kind of grew up in that Christopher Lee era of vampire, you know, of him playing Dracula. And it was weird. We did an episode not too long ago, and one of the things that I had led down was Christopher Lee played Dracula on film more than anybody else in the history of Hollywood. Most people, when they think of Dracula, they think of Bela Lugosi.
Bela, yeah.
You know, and you should. Yeah. But to me, Christopher Lee is the embodiment of Dracula, you know, because I grew up in the 70s watching all those, you know, Hammer films and, you know, all that stuff. Him and Peter Cushing did so many movies together. It was crazy.
And you like
it was weird. He played Dracula like 17 times, I think, is what it was.
Well, you like the one, what is it, 1972 AD? Is that
1972 AD. And it was funny, I brought that up the last time because I had just watched that a few days prior. It had popped up on TCM. And that's one thing is TCM, and I should have brought it with me. It's in the house. I just got a book from TCM called Fright Favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes all the way back to Nosferatu and goes all the way forward to Get Out. You know, and it talks about all the different, you know, the transition of horror through Hollywood. And there's some good stuff in there. But Christopher Lee has always been one of my favorite Draculas. Now, there was another guy, Frank Langella.
Yep.
The movie escapes me. I just, the iconic scene for him was when he's crawling down the castle wall, looking in the window, you know.
But you know who also played a good Dracula? There was I think it was BBC in the mid-70s, Jack Palance played Dracula.
Okay, I do remember that.
And he did a fairly reputable job as well. And if you know Jack Palance, he's very classic, he's very staid, but he's got every once in a while the personality comes out.
Right.
And so Jack Palance, I forget what it's called, but it's from the mid-70s. It's a British production.
Well, I gotta tell you, you know, speaking of Dracula, a movie that was really good, that surprised me was good, was Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
I actually like that movie a lot.
Yeah, and who was that? That was
I can't remember the guy's name. He's been in a shit ton of movies. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but I thought he did a pretty damn good job of it. I like the suit. I like the suit that they came up with. You know, Vlad's suit. Them look like muscles and shit. It was.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
It was fucking pretty wicked. But I think he did a pretty damn good job at it. See, for me, again, like I said, you guys were a different era than I was. You know, I still appreciate all that stuff. It just doesn't affect me as much as it does you because you guys grew up in that. That's what you seen when you were. Yeah, Luke Evans. Yeah. That's who played him. Yeah. That was what was coming up when you guys were kids. So that's what brings you back to your childhood. And that's what I think is cool is being able to talk to people and find out what, you know, makes them tick, their horror movie tick, or what brings them back.
Ryan, have you seen Nosferatu?
Oh yes. Oh, okay. Actually, I have it. I bought as fuck cool as shit. I bought a I go through Walmart and I go through the $5 bin, you know, because there's a lot of good deals there. And I got a thing, a movie has like 8 movies, has all the original freaking Universal Monster movies on there.
Nice.
But it also had some bonus movies, and Nosferatu's on there. there's a couple other ones that are way back. They're black and white. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but and I like it. I tell you what, I actually love the the long fingers and the the classic look of Dracula. You know, of all that on there.
I wish I'd have brought that book out here with me because I have got the. I don't know if you remember, but quite a few years ago, Universal released a bunch of box sets. So there's a box set of Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, and I think the Creature from Black Lagoon. But anyway, I've got the Dracula box set, and it's got the original Dracula, and then it's also got the Spanish version of Dracula. And I have never watched that though, but I have heard the Spanish version of Dracula. It's not the same movie. It was recorded in Spain, different actors, different movie, but I have heard that it's better than the original.
Well, it was
Dracula.
I haven't seen it, but it was actually shot on the same set as Dracula.
Sweet.
So it's literally the same set, just directed in a different manner with different actors.
Right. Okay.
So what I've been told is that it's shot amazingly, actually better, but the acting is not Bella.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they followed almost a very similar script.
Yeah.
But it's kind of different to see the same one. But obviously the Universal guys, the English one got the 9 to 5 time.
Right.
And the Spanish guys were burning the midnight oil to do their version.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm just going to throw some trivia out there. Do you know who their first choice for Dracula was?
Yeah, it was Karloff, wasn't it?
No.
Was it? Oh, Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney.
Yeah. And he had prior engagements and couldn't do it. He was under contract with MGM or somebody. He was under contract with a different movie studio, and they wouldn't allow him to do it. So they ended up getting Bela Lugosi, but the way they got him was he was actually doing the Broadway play of Dracula, of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And they liked the way he acted in the play, so they got him to come and do the movie.
And the funny thing about Bella is that Bella was in a lot of great iconic roles, but he was in a lot of schlock.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of those Poverty Row films and all that he was in, but he always brought the same effort and the same oomph to every role he did, no matter how bad the film was.
Yeah.
He gave it. But I think he had a drug addiction. He had to pay for his drug addiction.
That's how you get greatness as far as like just always doing 100%. Always going 100%.
Drugs always make you do 100%.
Yeah, look at Chris Farley. Come on. I fucking love Chris.
No, we're just kidding.
That's what the world fucking missing. The world needs more Chris fucking Farley is what they need. But
the world needs more horror.
But anyways, no, trust me, there's a lot of fucking horror.
The world needs more Bill Van Bagels.
But anyways,
I thought you were going to say the world needs more whores. Well,
yes,
maybe.
that too.
Maybe. But hey, that would go into the special.
The special.
Look, see how I went around there and right back into it. So, hey, let me ask you. I know that you're not ready to do your top movie list of 2020. Only
because I've got about 3 or 4 more to go. I'm going to be doing my list by the end of this week.
Okay. So I just kind of curious.
Yeah.
So far, if you can tell me, what was your favorite movie of 2020 so far?
I don't want to give that away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give my number 1, but I will say in my top 5 is the Mortuary Collection.
Yes. Good movie. Really good
Great
movie.
film. Great film.
I really, really enjoyed that one.
Clancy Brown played a fantastic part in that. He plays a great part in everything he does.
I love Pet Cemetery too.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm just flipping through because every time I have to take notes because my memory is, I know one that I enjoyed. I don't know if it'll be in top 10, but it was Freaky.
Okay, I have not watched that yet.
With Vince Vaughn.
Yes. What'd you think of it?
It's, talk about homages. It's an homage to the 80s slasher. It's got a little bit of Scream in it. It's got a little bit of the teenage angst film in it.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It's got a little bit of people kind of figuring out who they are in high school. You know, you got that kind of
Freaky?
bent to it. Yeah, Freaky.
I'm about to watch. I might watch that tonight.
Basically, it's what it is it's a movie where the killer swaps bodies with a cheerleader.
Gotcha. See, and I love Vince Vaughn.
And so Vince Vaughn becomes the cheerleader.
I love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, he is. It's
one
really
of my
cool.
favorite fucking actors. And you know, it's crazy. Like I remember the first movie I seen him in that he was serious in was that movie Clay Pigeons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he played basically a killer. Basically, was one of the. He's a great actor, and I'm definitely going to check that one out probably tonight. Actually, 'cause that sounds like a good one.
It was funny you brought up the Mortuary Collection because I've got that all starred on my page here. Because I really enjoyed that film.
There's another one for people like the sci-fi end of horror, like an Aliens kind of one, and it's a Russian film called Sputnik.
Yeah, I've seen the.
Okay, I saw the clip for that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I found quite strong.
Okay.
That is worth watching. And I posted in our Land of the Creeps page. Everybody who's a Horror Chronicle is welcome to join. Just
go on over there, guys. Check them out for sure.
It's called Butt Boy.
Yeah. You sent us that, and it was funny because I was like, "Oh, okay." So I took a screenshot of that so I wouldn't forget it. Well, today I was going through my Fire Stick, like I said, looking at 2020 movies, and that Butt Boy movie popped up, and I read the synopsis on it, and I was like, "It was straight up Stephen King. Hey, honey, come here."
Yeah, he had another movie right next to it called Butt Boy that he had already watched.
Yeah. I did. Talk about getting wood. But anyway, boom. Yeah, the synopsis for that movie, I was like, okay, Bill, why did you?
It's lower budgeted, but it won't make my top 10 or anything. But it's an interesting watch. I've never seen things with a guy's rectum do that.
Oh,
he has.
Okay. Yeah, usually it's Ryan's. Okay, so it's
back to our show.
Yeah. Butt Boy. So Butt Boy, everybody, go out and check that out.
And another one that's an interesting watch is Becky.
That movie was fantastic. Kevin James.
Yep.
Have you watched that yet?
I have not watched that. I've seen it on a thing. I know.
Dude, that was really good. Kevin James, he always plays a comedian.
I like Kevin James.
He is like super serious killer in this movie.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna check it out.
Dude, it was fantastic.
Yeah, the problem I had with it is when you see that film, you think of Kevin James from his comedic roles with Adam Sandler, or you think of King of Queens or whatever.
Right.
To see him with a Nazi symbol on the back of his head, it takes a bit of a.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to. I mean, you're part of the way through the movie before you're like, okay, he's not going to crack any jokes.
Yeah.
That movie was just fantastic, and the way they portrayed that. I mean, that is really that really could be classified as a home invasion movie.
Oh, cool. See, so I'm gonna flip it up a little bit here.
All right.
Do you like to go to haunted attractions and things like that?
I will. I mean, I find it enjoyable. I don't find it scary. I want to see the effects. I want to see how they do it up.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, people get freaked out by someone touching my shoulder. Well, it's just some 18-year-old making $8 an hour. I don't know.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I got the opportunity to go to fucking Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
I would love to. I've never done.
I just went.
All right, Bill, we're taking a road trip.
Well, I'm telling you.
When the border allows to.
Yeah, that's right.
I just went and, what was that, 2 years ago? No, last year.
Yeah.
And, man, it was the Universal Monsters anniversary. And they had a Universal Monsters haunted house there. It was fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's Universal Studios. So,
right.
But what was cool is they had like the whole Universal Studios set up, and Rob Zombie had his own scare zone, they call it, which was badass.
Unlike his movies.
Yes. No, his movies are good when they're his movies.
Yeah.
They had Zombieland 2. Scare
Which I
Zone.
Found.
Yeah, the first one was amazing.
Yeah.
But the Scare Zone there was cool as shit. It was really cool setup. They had zombies running around everywhere. They had
he ran into Bill Murray.
It was dude. It was so funny. I was walking, had my wife and some friends with us, and I was walking, and I seen this guy dressed up, looked just like Bill Murray, and I was like, Bill fucking Murray, and he turned around and he goes. I was like, fuck yeah, that was badass. But and they had Stranger Things.
Oh, cool.
Haunted house. They had, which I love Stranger Things, by the way. I don't know if we haven't talked about that.
Haven't.
Did they still have the ET stuff up?
No. Wait, yes,
No?
they do. Yeah, because I rode that
Universal?
ride.
Yeah.
I rode the ET ride. It was pretty fucking cool. They had a bunch of different cool Us. They had a bunch of different cool scenes up there. But what was cool about it is that at the beginning, you're lined up at the entrance, and when they count down to whenever the Halloween Horror Night starts, it has a countdown and everything, and all of a sudden you are coming into as you're walking in, and you hear this ding, 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 and the buzzer goes off, and all of a sudden all these fucking zombies and monsters, everything are running at everybody in the crowd.
That's freaking cool.
It is fucking cool as shit, man. You would love it.
Well, see, they kind of do the same thing at Six Flags. So Six Flags, they're Fright Fest, what they call it. So during the day, it all revolves around kids, and it's all Halloween related, and kid
Family friendly.
Yeah.
But as soon as the sun starts to go down, at 6 o'clock, they have a lot of people gather outside in front of what they call the Palace. And they're doing like a music show, and a dance and all kinds of stuff, And then all of a sudden you start hearing these sirens going off that sound like the Purge. Brrr, brrr. And then you hear the train coming. Well, all the villains are on the train. As soon as the train docks, all these villains come down off the train. And we're talking hundreds and hundreds of villains, and they're running through the crowd, pushing people out of the way. They get to the stage and they take over the show, and then the whole park goes dark.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see the Netflix movie called Haunters?
Yeah.
Yes, where it goes behind the scenes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty freaky.
But you, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. You have to go to Halloween Horror Nights, man. If you got to make it out there, because it was.
Well, I remember going as a kid, and they had the Psycho exhibit up.
Nice.
Man.
And they showed you scene by scene how they did shot for shot Psycho, the shower scene.
Yeah.
And
See,
yeah.
It was just kill, dude. It was so fucking cool, man.
I want to go.
As a horror fan and horror fan, like it was just fucking wicked, dude.
The other reason I
haven't.
I don't want to go because I'll go through $500 just in buying shit.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
But
Easily.
it's worth it, dude. I'm gonna tell you, as a horror fanatic and fan, I am so glad I did that. It's definitely worth it. If I could go every year just there, I would do it. It was so awesome. But I don't want to get off the Stranger Things yet because we haven't really talked about that on the podcast.
We haven't.
Are you caught up on that? Have you watched all the?
I have never seen Stranger Things.
You have never watched any of it. All right.
You-
Then we probably need to not.
Yeah, we'll wait. But
not
dude,
be into that.
you got to check that out too. You got to check it out.
It's a very good series. They've went through 3 seasons of it, and it just gets darker and darker and darker and darker as it goes.
And the thing of it is not that I don't think it's well done or anything. It's just because it's a formulaic show, you have to keep watching it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would rather put that.
Do.
I would rather put that hour and a half into a movie.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So then, but I will get to it. I'll sit and binge. And going it all the way back again, flipping back to The Devil Made Me Do It. I heard you guys talk about you saw The Night Stalker.
Oh yeah.
I did. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 at one point, and then took a couple days off, and then watched the second 2.
Okay. I have, since I was at a young age, I've always been kind of fascinated with serial killers. And Richard Ramirez was always on the top of my list. Why, I don't know. He just always was. When I went into that series, I was expecting something totally different. And this series, as you know, was from the police department's point of view.
So is it Gil Carrillo and Frank Salerno?
Salerno, yeah.
Salerno?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I love the way they did that. I really do. It was more like an investigation discovery thing. And what's cool about that is my wife's really big into investigation discovery. She watches it all the time. She's constantly watching these shows. I think what she's trying to do is figure out how to kill me and get rid of my body.
It's all females. They love those.
Anyway, so my wife was actually very interested in it too. But what I thought is I thought we were going to get Richard Ramirez from the get-go all the way through all 4 episodes. And you really didn't get that. I mean, you did. It was the chase, but it was all about the chase, you know?
Yeah.
And
it felt like an A&E show at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to get a good breakdown of
a little more grittier, though. I mean, they were actually showing police footage.
If you want to get a good breakdown of the Night Stalker, I'm telling you, check out. There's a podcast called "Color Me Dead" podcast, and they do. It's two women, and of course, 2 women, and they do true murder, real crime.
Well, they were probably really
true crime.
Night Stalker.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they did a great episode on the Night Stalker. They broke it down, so they do really good at the breakdowns. Like they do multi-episodes, like on Pee Wee Gaskin. I don't know if you ever heard him. He was a killer. Dude, there's some great stuff on there.
So
see, I was going to say the reason I don't do a lot of it is because I don't like to put the serial killer on celebrity status.
Pedestal. Yeah.
Like it's a despicable act. It should never be glamorized.
Absolutely.
You should never.
I'm with you on that.
If you're taking it from the POV of how did they get him and what mistakes did they make and how can we learn from that mistake, I'm all for it.
Yeah. See, and for me, it's like, I agree with you. We should never put these guys up on a pedestal. And unfortunately, that's what happens in our society today.
Like when they showed all those women who were giving topless photos and flirting with them, like that just disgusts me.
That fucking blows my mind.
Come on, people. Come on.
Blows my mind.
But I wanted them to get more into his head, you know, and they just didn't do that, you know.
No.
And there were some things, there was a certain aspect. All right, let me back up here a little bit. So last year, we did a fantastic episode on a place called the Cecil Hotel.
Okay.
What a lot of people don't know is while Richard Ramirez was committing these crimes, he was living in the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel there's a lot of paranormal activity there, and there was a lot of suicides and a lot of death inside that hotel, and none of it had to do with Ramirez. But at one time, there was a journalist, and I don't remember exactly what his name was, but he was from Great Britain. He came over and decided he was going to live life like Richard Ramirez. He was fascinated with him. He became a serial killer himself and was killing women. And him and Ramirez were not together by no means, but they were living in the same building at the same time. And I was really hoping that they would have gotten into some of that backstory because we went through the whole thing. And it was funny because when we were researching that and I ran across Ramirez being in there, if you remember, I did this whole breakdown about Richard Ramirez and everything he had done and all that stuff. And we used to have a girl on here with us. Her name was Breezy. Ryan and Breezy were just sitting there looking at me like, what the fuck? I'm like, you know, I mean.
Well, the one thing that freaked me out, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's at one point where the dentist office comes into play.
Yeah.
And how the fuck did they not, I'm not going to give any more.
And how did they get there and be late, you know, for the party?
And I mean, because of wire mishaps, they missed them.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. You know, well, that's just like with Charles Manson. You know, he never really killed anyone. He had it ordered to.
He orchestrated it. But here's the thing about him.
He was arrested so many times and let go so many times. It's all come out. Like it blows my damn mind.
What I wanted this to lead to is on Netflix, if you guys like that kind of stuff, did you watch the one called The Ripper on Peter Sutcliffe?
I have not.
Go on to Netflix. I even like that one better because if you know your serial killers, Peter Sutcliffe back in the 70s in England used to kill women over the head with a hammer.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've heard that story before.
On the way home, and the odd time someone survived. And I like it because that one is taken from the victim's POV.
Okay.
It's the investigation from the victims. And what ended up happening is it showed at that point in England, and probably in the States and Canada as well, there was no unified computer file system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happened in one chunk of London wasn't connecting with what happened on another chunk on the other side of London.
Yeah.
And you got into a pissing contest over jurisdictional. There was no, like on the Peter Sutcliffe one, they literally had index cards like they used to have at the library, flip it around, and anybody that was a suspect was on that.
Yeah. What did they call that in Blues Brothers? It was like scats or something like that. Remember Aykroyd talking about that in Blues Brothers? Oh, they got, I don't remember what it was called though, but they had the new computer system.
Well, speaking of,
so anybody listening, check out The Ripper on Netflix. It's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Speaking of point of views and talking about The Conjuring, Andrea Perrin, who was one of the daughters, the actual daughters, she has a six movie deal or something like that to tell their side of what happened in what actually happened. She did a really good interview on another podcast that was too called Real Ghost Stories Online.
Oh, Tony Bruschi.
With Tony Bruschi. Yeah. He was on there, or she was on there, and she was talking about how, what happened in real life was they lived in that house for 10 years after. They didn't leave the house. And she said that mainly what happened was her mom was the one that got attacked a lot. Yeah. And they didn't talk to Ed and Lorraine. Ed and Lorraine came to them and come to their door, and her dad really hated them and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
Well, where is the doll now?
The doll is still in Ed and Lorraine's house, even though both of them have passed away. The daughter,
I heard it got stolen.
The daughter and the son-in-law still own the house, and the son-in-law is the one that watches over the museum.
I heard that the doll got stolen. That Annabelle got stolen. Did you hear that?
I had not heard that.
I heard something about.
Could be.
I heard something, but then again,
it's possible.
But then again, that could just be them trying to stoke up more, clout out there, get their name out there a little more. But
yeah, I wanted to say the other night I watched the updated version or the 2020 version of Castle Freak.
Oh yeah, I've got that on my list too. What did you think of that?
That's it started well, and then it kind of hit a cliff.
Yeah, and then fell off.
All I'll say is there's a few intimate scenes involving monsters.
Yes. That bedroom scene was phenomenal.
There's one, and there's even another one towards the end of the film.
Yes.
That's
and you're like,
yeah, dude.
I actually enjoyed that film.
I'm sure you did.
I like the original. But I like what they did with the remake too.
I mean, you could tell the writing was
so. Yeah.
So. I mean, you got your TNA and you got your practical effects.
Right.
I just think it kind of fell off after a certain point.
Yeah. They had a lot of atmosphere in that movie, and that's kind of. I thought the storyline with the girl being blind and him, I was like, where are you going to go with this, But
yeah, you're talking about the monster scenes, the sex scenes, and all that stuff. Feast. Once you get to the second and third one, dude, it's so fucked up.
It's bad.
There's some scenes in there where it's basically.
In Castle Freak, didn't the freak's vagina look like it was about the size of a football?
Yes. Yeah.
That slit was bigger than I'd ever seen, boy.
Right.
It's like, what's that movie, Teeth?
Oh, God. Talk about bad film for a guy to watch.
Oh.
Well, and it's funny, another one, have you seen the movie Porno?
Yes.
Okay, so I enjoyed that movie, but like I tell everybody, it's a dick-ripping good time.
The sewing scene.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh.
So okay, what's your favorite horror comedy?
Well, you can go to Tucker and Dale.
Fuck yeah, I love that movie.
Tucker and Dale's a good film. I mean, you could almost argue that the Day of the Deads and all that are horror comedies.
Yeah.
To a point. But yeah, I think Tucker and Dale is probably. I mean, you could go Ghostbusters, but that's not a.
Yeah, it's not really horror.
That's not really horror, but yeah. It's walking the line, but you know.
Yeah, I'll go Tucker and Dale for now.
Yeah,
Tucker and Dale's a great one. Santa's Sleigh is
a great one. I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite one, and it's up there with Ghostbusters. It's walking the line, and that's got to be Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I guess comedy.
Frankenstein.
I got this brain. It's from an Abbey Normal.
Yeah,
putting on the Ritz. Do.
Yeah.
See, there's a.
I just love that film. It's one of those fun films to watch. And
Jack Frost.
My, what knockers!
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost was a good one too. Yeah.
There's
a lot of them out there that are,
But Tucker and Dale is fucking.
Well, and I remember we talking about this movie called Suck.
Suck. Yeah, Suck is a good one.
Bill was telling us about that the last time we had him on the line, and I still have not watched all of that. I started to watch it before we talked the first time, and I never finished that movie.
Another one of that ilk, well, not vampire, is Dead Snow.
Oh, yes, Dead Snow is good.
Yes.
Have you seen the second one?
Yes, it's fun too.
It's got watched this.
All I'll say is there's the last 5 minutes. There's zombie sex.
Yeah.
Nice. So talk about good sex in movies. All right.
Yeah.
And that leads us back to porno.
There you go.
So I was scrolling through Pornhub, or I'm sorry, not Pornhub. I was scrolling through my Fire Stick today. There's a new movie out. Well, I say new. It came out 2020. It's called Casting Couch Massacre.
Oh, really?
And I was intrigued.
Is there a scene about giving head?
I don't know because I haven't watched it, but I read through the synopsis, and it is what you think it is. It's two guys have a casting couch, and they claim that they're,
agents.
They claim that they're promoting for a new porno, and the killer has a power drill with a rusty drill bit, and that's really all I know about the film. And now I'm intrigued. I want to see it. Yeah, Casting Couch Massacre.
The other comedy one that wasn't mentioned is Reanimator.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my God. Yep. Reanimator is one of those movies where you can be watching that whole movie, and the only time anybody will walk in is when Barbara Cranston is getting head from the dude with the severed head. That is the only time. It's like that's when your wife will walk in. Is it that nude scene where they're Yeah. We all.
There's also, you go back to the day that you and I can remember. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Yes, that is probably one of my favorite Abbott and Costello movies. There was that one, and then here recently, I tried to watch Hold That Ghost. Hold That Ghost. I thought, oh my God, I remember that movie from when I was a kid, and it was not near as good as Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
No, but they also had Wolfman, didn't he? Abbott and Costello Meet the Wolfman.
Yes.
There's 2 or 3 of them, but I always think Frankenstein's the best of the bunch.
What was cool about the Frankenstein one, though, is because everybody was in there. Bela Lugosi played Dracula. Lon Chaney Jr. played the Wolfman.
But there was a different Frankenstein.
There was a different Frankenstein. He was played by Peter Strange in that movie.
Yep.
Because they couldn't get Bella to play that part.
There's so many movies. Do you remember Nukem High?
High.
Class of Nukem High. Trauma.
Nukem High, man. What's the other one? Oh, fucking
Toxic Avenger.
There was another one of my favorite fucking people ever, and he was in They Live. Roddy Piper. We've talked about Roddy Piper. Was it Attack on Frogtown?
I haven't seen that.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Roddy Piper.
Now you talk about a great film. They Live.
Fuck, dude, that's one of my favorites. Period.
That movie came out in a time, that was during the Reagan era, and and that movie came out at a time where subliminal messaging was big in the news, and they were trying to get people to conform and unity and all this stuff, and they just turned it on its ear.
This movie still it's like a documentary, basically.
Yeah. And that's got a great fight scene in Day
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
The other comedy horror that doesn't ever get talked about was 1963's The Comedy of Terrors. With Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre, let me see who else. Vincent Price was in it. Basil Rathbone was in it.
Yeah. Vincent Price is from my hometown.
And by that point, Karloff was getting up there, and his health was failing him. Like, he had bad back, bad knees, so he did move around a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
But he plays a drunk, a kind of a dimwitted, and he is hilarious.
Okay.
Comedy of Terrors.
Now I'm starting to get a visual. I knew I had seen that movie at some point, but I couldn't really remember it until you talk about that. And wasn't there, like, Peter Lorre was, oh God, I remember they were in like a dungeon type setting.
Yeah, I got it here. It says, to earn money to support his drinking habit, Waldo becomes an undertaker and murders people with the help of his assistant. However, the duo gets into trouble when they try to kill their landlord.
Which was Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Laurie's kind of the helper, and yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it's one of those Samuel Zarkov films where he was pumping him out every 3 months, just go.
Oh yeah.
You guys
said AIP.
You guys cover books and stuff too, right? Is that what you said?
On Phantom Galaxy, we'll do books.
Yeah, you guys should definitely. We should hook you up with D.A. Roberts. He's a local around here. He's from Springfield. He's an author. He has some fucking awesome books that you right down your alley. You guys will love. He's actually really good to have on. He's been on our show a couple times.
He's a fantastic guest. We've had him on a couple times. And what he does is he writes like graphic horror novels, but most of his stuff revolves around werewolves.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, very cool. We need to put you in touch with him.
Yeah, you guys should definitely get him on your show. He's great to have on. He's going to be actually, he's a connection we have to do some investigations down there in Springfield area. But what I was going to tell you, have you ever heard of Scary Stories Told in the Dark?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Not the movie.
There's a podcast. It's not really a podcast. It's with Otis Gyrie. And he reads like horror.
The old horror.
Oh, they're the ones from the novels.
Yes, he reads the novels. And he reads like stories. He'll do like a 30-minute story, 2 30-minute stories. And it's actually really fucking cool. If you have time to sit around and listen to the way he reads them, he's a classic. Back in the day, people had to read things to make it, and he's fucking awesome.
He's so young, Bill. I remember being so poor I had to read a TV guide.
Yeah, I didn't have books or anything. I can't read very well anyway. So, but no, you would like that a lot probably if you have time to listen to a podcast or anything like that. Or
yeah, it is really good.
I was talking to my buddies a while back, and I think you and I, Jared, are probably the last generation who didn't have the internet in high school.
No.
I did not have the internet in high school.
It was funny.
We vaguely had it.
I remember when. So, like I said, I'm a musician. I've played in numerous bands, and back in the mid '90s, I was playing in a band, and one of our guitar player he kind of considered himself an electronics geek. He really wasn't, but he
whatever.
I remember he got the first computer. And he was like, dude, you got to check this out. It's the freaking internet, and it was all dial up, and AOL. And
I can remember being third year university, 1996. And one of the professors wanted us to hand in our essays electronically. So that was when I first got an email address in 1996, just to get a paper as opposed to having to type it out.
I remember being 14 years old, waiting 15 minutes for a picture of a naked chick to pop up.
No. Gerald and I remember.
Now Gerald and 15 minutes for other things to pop up.
Gerald and I remember watching porn all.
Yeah, with squiggly lines through it.
See, I was
Hey, there's a nipple.
Hey, I think I saw a nipple. Yeah.
yeah, for me, it's like there's her forehead. That's definitely a forehead. And it's like,
So you could hear what's going on, but she was mutant green and sideways.
Right.
But yeah, it was
Those are the days.
because
I'm glad
I was
they're over.
watching because last time we veered off about music, and I watched these videos of people watching old tunes and old videos for the first time.
Oh, reaction videos.
Yeah, reaction videos. So there was a kid in his early 20s or late teens watching Rush's video of Subdivisions. And it shows the kids in the high school and they're getting their stuff ready when and the guy goes, nobody's looking at their cell phone.
Yeah.
I was just like, cell phone.
No shit,
I was like, I remembered my locker combo,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it changes.
And it's funny, since we're on the subject of music is one of the only things, well, I say the only thing, music and movies are one of the only things that, like, you can listen to a song that you heard when you were 15 years old, and it's going to take you back to that time. It happens to me all the time because I still listen to a lot of the music I was listening to when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, I don't know that music will ever change like that for me. Now, the new stuff that we're writing is a lot harder and heavier than what we were listening to back then. But all of us on the band, we still go back and we listen to the, that old Megadeth and Slayer and Creation.
You'll still have your Black Sabbath. You'll still have your Priest. You'll still have your Iron Maiden.
For
sure.
It's
for
the same thing with movies too. But what's crazy is what's like for me is that it's your guys' generation of music and your guys' generation of movies that bring me back.
Yeah.
Even though.
Go ahead.
I could listen like the music that came out besides Metallica because they had some stuff that came out when I was listening to it. But like most of the music that like I sit and listen to, well, what was I jamming whenever I pulled up?
Yeah,
to
he's
house?
listening to some Crocus from the 80s.
He
probably wasn't even alive when that song was.
Yeah, no, not when it came out. But
that could have been what got his parents going.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
But you see what I'm saying?
Screaming in the night.
Exactly. Heels of Jesus. But
great song, by the way.
That's what's crazy is that I don't listen to the music that came out whenever. Now some of the metal stuff I do.
Right.
But it doesn't
resonate.
Yes,
right.
It doesn't bring me back.
No,
it
doesn't bring you back. Yeah.
It doesn't bring me back to my teenage years because I really wasn't listening to that particularly to go back. It's crazy. It's just weird to me.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm all old school metal, hardcore thrash metal stuff, but I absolutely am in love with this new band called Ginger.
Fuck yeah,
I listen to them all the time, and they're a brand new band, but man, they are just freaking phenomenal.
But I think I've heard him. The guy can really wail, can't he?
Well, it's a female singer.
It's a female that can wail.
It's a female singer, and they are phenomenal.
Do yourself a favor.
All of the members in the band were like had graduated, from college with music theory and stuff. So their music is it's not like chaotically intricate like Dream Theater or something like that.
No,
it's very, very groove oriented, but you can tell that they know what the hell they're doing.
They are fucking the whole band.
They're phenomenal.
And the singer
and her voice
Tatiana,
is just
dude, she can go from singing,
and it doesn't hurt that she's absolutely gorgeous too.
She can go from singing like an angel and then fucking just I mean
if you're into that hardcore metal, man, Ginger, you got to check them out.
Have you ever seen a band fronted by a woman that wasn't really good looking? You don't see them. Not that I care. Everybody's got their own taste, but they're always.
I don't know. Janis Joplin wasn't all that good.
No, but I'm talking on the metal side. They're always thin.
Yeah. I mean, look at Arch Enemy. Angela Goslow was absolutely gorgeous. Tatiana. The girl from Endless Moment, she's very pretty. Evanescence,
Amy Lee,
yeah,
very, very pretty.
You're
right.
Well, you ever
they're almost.
Go ahead.
No,
you ever listen to symphonic metal?
honestly, if it's been out in the last 20 years, unless somebody brings it to me, I haven't heard it.
Yeah. There's another band called Nightwish.
Nightwish, I know. Yeah.
I like Nightwish. Yeah. Floor Jansen is a fucking phenom, dude. She's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
But Ginger, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you got to check them out.
You have to check them out.
Is it G-I-N-G?
No, it's J-I-N-J-E-R.
Oh, J-I-N-J-E-R. Okay.
And tell you what. Listen to them live. I want you to listen to a song called Perennial.
Okay.
Live. She's in a gold suit. Gold one piece.
Ryan, I want you to send me through Messenger a link to that.
I'll send you a link to the video.
I tell you, you really want to see the range of this chick's voice. Listen to the song Judgment and Punishment.
Yeah.
She is all over the place.
I'll send you a couple links to check out.
She's all over the place.
Phenomenal band. On Land of the Creeps, one of our listeners is in a band called Le Spécial.
Okay.
L-E-S-P-E-C-I-L. And it's kind of a combination of metal, prog rock, and a little bit of symphonic to it.
Okay.
And I'll send you these guys because Le Spécial.
Yeah, definitely.
Luke Beeman's in our group, and he's really good. And like as I said before, I don't get a lot of the newer stuff, but if something's new and it's good, I'll give it my full go. Yeah. So
I'll try and send you over some of our stuff. I play in a band called LUNATIC, and we are a lot. You can tell when you listen to us, Pantera was our biggest influence.
Okay.
So, domination.
I remember about 10 years ago down our way, Anthrax came and played.
Anthrax.
Our local arena.
Dude.
And it was
Did you go see him?
The second lead singer.
What's his name? That was Bush, John Bush.
Yeah, no, sorry. The first guy had come back.
Oh yeah, that's Joey Belladonna.
Joey Belladonna had done, and when he was singing "Cry for the Indians," holy shit!
Yeah. Oh. Dude, he has got a freaking phenomenal voice. Phenomenal voice.
And you know who else's voice from the old school still holds up to this day? Some people don't like him, but Sebastian Bach's voice.
Yes. Have you heard his new album? His new album's killer, dude. Killer. Well, it's not really all that new now. It's been out 4 or 5 years probably.
I saw him a couple years ago because he's from the area out here.
Okay.
But I mean, for a while he got a lot of flack for it, but he played Broadway for a couple years.
Yeah.
Because he had that voice.
Right. Oh, he's awesome, man.
So he can
tell you. Go ahead. I
was going to say he can play. He'll go back to some mid-'70s hardcore band, but then he can play the notes, or he used to.
Yeah, I tell you whose voice has really held up, and I saw him just a few years ago. Freaking Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah,
that guy can
Bruce is
still
the
freaking wail, dude.
Bruce.
It was funny. I was at my buddy's house the other day. I'd taken an edible, so I was kind of
nice
in there. And we were talking about that, and we were saying both of us had seen Dickinson, and what's he now got to be in his mid-60s?
Yeah, I think so.
His voice still, he knows how to train it. He knows how to, because if you sing from your throat like you and I do, your voice is going to be done by the time you're. Yeah, he knows how to coat it with the honey and that kind of.
Oh, see, man, and that's Bruce. He's probably one of my favorite leads.
Yeah, I saw them 2 years ago. They did that big U.S. tour, and oh my God, dude! It's funny because the first concert I ever went to was Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. I was like 15 years old. I'd never been to a concert before, so pretty much ruined every other concert for me, But then I saw them again. I'd seen them a few times, but I saw them for the last time a couple years ago, and he is still just a freaking madman.
Yeah,
I mean, he's all over the stage. He's in fucking awesome shape, just screaming and yelling and singing his ass off, dude.
That's the same thing, and that's the same thing because like I said, I told you last time I went and see Metallica 2017.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017 up at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and dude, they're 60, and they fucking killed that. James sounded bad. His voice, I mean.
Yeah, I've seen some video from that. And
he sounded fucking amazing, dude.
But you know what's funny is you go to a heavy metal show, and anybody that gives you that, the heavy metal guys are, there are no kinder audience members.
You're right.
Dude.
You're absolutely right.
Except for the dicks in the front that are giving you this.
Yeah.
But even, it's funny, even those dicks in the front, if they see somebody go down, they're going to pick them up.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's funny because you'll go to a show like that, and it's not unusual. It's not unusual to see somebody in their 70s there, because if they would tune in on them when they were 30,
right,
they're now 70.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to Def Leppard in 1977 and you were 30, you're going to be 70, but you're still a fan as long as your ears can take it.
Right.
So there are some of the most. I remember going to see Megadeth. I saw Megadeth and the Scorpions on the same show.
Fuck yeah, Scorpions.
And there were people there, I swear, they had canes, but they were there.
Oh, yeah. It was funny going to concerts when I was a kid because I saw all these bands as a kid, Megadeth and Slayer and all these bands. And I still go to their shows today, but it's funny. Now when I walk into their shows, now I'm an old man, and most of the people in there all have gray hair just like I do.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been able to fucking see the Big Four.
Yeah, that would have been killer.
So badass, man.
But I wasn't going to pay to fly to New York and pay $1,000 for a seat.
It would have been badass.
But it was, you saw them at Iron Maiden a couple of years ago. They came around to Toronto, but for lawn seats at our outdoor stadium that they were playing, they were still $100 for lawn seats.
It was
back
funny.
in the.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I paid $65 for my seats, and I was in the second row, the second section back. So I was essentially about somewhere between 15 and 20 rows from the stage and paid $65.
See,
and it was beautiful because I had a perfect view because where our amphitheater is, the row in front of me, was like, there was no seat right in front of me. The seat started like right next to me and went on, but then it was a walkway about, 6 or 8 feet across, and then it went down from there. So, I had a perfect view of the whole show.
When I did see Iron Maiden, I saw him about 10 years ago. I was surprised how big Eddie is. Eddie is fucking huge.
Yeah.
He is huge.
He is.
See, you talk about prices, though. Like, my mom loves, and so do I, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Love Stevie Nicks. And she was coming to St. Louis last year, and it was on my mom's birthday. I'm like, fuck. Because we were only about an hour and a half away from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I went to looking at, I was going to get her some tickets to go because she's in love with, just loves Stevie Nicks. And I was like, well, shit, dude. The lowest prices I could find for tickets for her was like $150.
Yeah.
And that was in the shit seats.
Yeah, it's funny. You talk about those prices. So I told you the first concert I ever went to was Iron Maiden. I paid $12.50 to see them. And that was in 1985, 86.
Yeah.
When I saw them this last time, $65.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, but that's a really good price. I thought, I don't blame Iron Maiden for making their money now because they would have paid a lot of small clubs and got ripped off by the owners. No.
Yeah.
But so like the top end, even the first 100 seats or whatever, they were going 200 and something bucks.
Yeah. Well,
who the hell is
what did you pay to see Metallica?
Well, I didn't pay shit.
Well,
but my buddies bought me a ticket, but they were like $85.
$85.
That was way up high. That wasn't for the,
I've seen Metallica one time in my life, and I was sitting in the second row mezzanine just to the right of the stage. I could have spit on them from where I was sitting, and I paid $16.50.
See, Volbeat,
and that was during the And Justice for All tour. It was like 6 months after Cliff died.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I remember seeing AC/DC from here to my wall, 10 feet away.
Shit.
Yeah.
I could see the sweat on Angus's neck as he's doing his thing. And
I've been like that with Megadeth and Slayer.
Angus Young to this day is the most favorite guitarist I've seen. I've seen like Santana, who's better technically.
Dude, I would love to see Santana.
I saw him. He was really good, but Angus, for pure entertainment and ability and banging it out, you can't beat Angus.
Yeah. Well, Dimebag was kind of like that.
I was going to say, I hate to tell you who my favorite was that I saw live, and it was probably Dimebag.
Fuck yes.
I saw him. I saw him with Damage Plan. It was either 2 weeks or a month before he got killed on stage. They played St. Louis. They were at Pops.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I was sitting, I was about as far away as I am from that wall. I was probably about 20 feet away from him.
Because,
and dude, he frickin' puts on a hell of a show. Or he did.
When he got killed, it was at a small club and a guy just shot him into the crowd, didn't he?
He came out.
The guy climbed up on stage and shot him almost point blank.
No, and what happened? Well, what happened was he got shot. He shot him in the head, and that's what killed him.
Yeah.
But what happened was, what a lot of people don't know, because they either don't follow the story or whatever, but his guitar tech, Dimebag guitar tech, small guy, 160 pounds maybe, 135 pounds, walks up, runs up on stage and grabs the guy and gets shot like 6 times. He's still alive, but he gets shot like 6 times stopping this guy from shooting. Like, he was so pissed. He grabbed this guy, and the guy finished off his rounds inside of his guitar tech. And he's like, his guitar tech was telling a story, man. He's just like, I seen the guy come up on stage. I see him pull the gun, and he shoots. And he hit Dime in the head. It killed him. And he runs up and just grabs his, like, he's like, fuck you, motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if there's the video of what happened. And here comes a cop, dude. When the cop gets there, he's got a shotgun. And he walks up onto the stage, and the cop, there's a guy where you're at. And the cop kind of just leans behind the guy with a shotgun like this, standing up. Leans to the side and goes, boom, and just fucking blows the guy away. But it was so fucking crazy, and it sucks. I cried that night.
It was a bad deal, man.
Dimebag was the fucking man. Like,
but yeah, I never got to see him play with Pantera. I never saw Pantera live. I saw every member of the band in different bands, though.
Yeah.
But I never got to see them play together.
Because Pantera did what, their last show last year?
Well, it would have been because his brother died.
Because Vinnie Paul died.
Yeah, or 2 years ago. They played not that long ago.
Oh, that's right. Did they play with they had different? Yeah. I know what you're talking.
Guitar player.
Yep.
Yeah, because Vinnie Paul died 2 or 3 years ago.
I know what he's talking about because I was wondering that myself.
Yeah.
Now Vinnie Paul was playing with the singer from Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got to pee so hard.
Hell yeah. Ryan's going to Tinkle. But yeah, it's crazy. So you're in Ontario.
Yeah, I'm about half an hour to 45 minutes east of Toronto.
Nice.
Just east
so you guys still get these big concerts up there? Well, I mean,
when they did, yeah. I mean, Toronto was the 4th largest city in North America. Might even be 3rd.
Okay.
So, behind New York City and LA. So it has the facilities, and it gets most of all the big shows. Just some people choose not to do with it because they don't want to deal with the border.
Right.
Because I was saying last time I was on that I saw the final tour. My last concert before everything went to shit was Bob Seger's tour, his final tour. But for years and years, he didn't come. He'd play Buffalo. He'd play Detroit. But he wouldn't cross over the border. And I don't think there was an issue with him. My guess is there was somebody in his band that couldn't cross the border or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Either that or he just couldn't be bothered because, like, why would you play Detroit? I mean, Detroit's your hometown. I get that. But why would you play Buffalo?
Why
wouldn't you play
Right.
So
yeah, it may be, because there's a lot of times that there's a border problem, with if somebody's got a misdemeanor or a warrant or a case.
Well, there's the whole story in my local town that's about 5 minutes away, Oshawa, Ontario. In the late 70s, Keith Richard was dinged in the airport, or I think he was in the airport with I don't know, was it heroin something? And his punishment, he didn't go to jail. He had to play a free concert.
No shit.
Stones had to play a free concert, and they tried to go to Toronto, but maybe
it was probably at a shopping mall too. No,
well, no, it was our local hockey arena. So I mean, it seats 2,500 people, 3,000 people. They had the fucking Rolling Stones opened up by the New Barbarians, Keith's side band, and the Blues Brothers were the MCs.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
See, that's cool. Because, like, I know what in Canada, like, you can't even get across the border if you have a felony, right?
I think it depends on the type, and I don't know to be. I know you can get a pardon after X amount of years.
Yeah, because I'm like I said, I'm a big MMA fan and done martial arts a lot of my life. But one of my favorite fighters is from Canada, GSP.
Yeah,
George St. Pierre is probably my all-time favorite fighter. I love that dude. But I was listening to a story, and Joe Rogan was talking about it. His buddy Eddie Bravo couldn't get across the border. Every time he would get detained because he was a security guard. And he got caught with a gun. He was, he was all legal. He was working private security, and but he had a gun and coming across there, so they stopped him. And it's like cut tooth and nails to get him across the border and there for fights because he's a jiu-jitsu expert too. He's like one of the best in the world.
Well, what you do is you hide him on the bus on the bottom with the
him with the luggage. Hell yeah. Hey, it's funny. I just heard a story about how there was, and I'm just going to say it because we can say anything we want here, damn it. I just heard a story about there was a group that used midget assassins. And what they would do is they would put these guys in suitcases and put them in I'm sorry, they weren't really assassins. They were more thieves. But they would put these midgets in suitcases and board a bus and put the suitcases into the cargo area. And the midgets would get out of the suitcase and rob the suitcases and then get back in their own suitcase. And whenever they got to their destination, whoever was with them would just grab the suitcase and walk away.
And there were a lot of middle-aged women without their bras, right?
Yeah.
And underwear. Hey, you know what? You know why women love small people?
Why?
Because when you're nose to nose, their toes are in it. And when you're toes to toes, their nose is in it.
What's that other
I'm
one?
horrible. Sorry.
What's that other one? There's another one I heard the other day. It said, if a midget sniffs a woman and says, "Your hair smells good," is that sexual harassment?
We're going to get kicked out of here.
We're going to have to delete we're going to have to make this a side note on the last 25, 30 minutes of the show.
But, I mean, this brings it all back together to the movies, because one of my favorite all-time movies is This Is Spinal Tap.
Yes.
And there's that scene where they're underneath the stage, and they can't find the door to get back up. And Muddy Waters plays one of the custodians, and he's like, you take this turn, and you take that turn, you take that turn, and then you make a right, and then you. Hello, Cleveland. Hello, Cleveland.
That's how I feel freaking working at FedEx, man. Yeah. People are always like, go down the road. You see a tree on the left-hand side. It's got a fork in it. There's a little birdhouse up there. Make a right of the tree. It's like, what?
Well, we do live in the country.
But anyways.
So I was going to say, so let's kind of bring this around, and let me ask you this. What movie from this past year did you enjoy the most watching? It's not necessarily your favorite movie, but what did you just enjoy the most?
There's I've got a few that like we talked about Uncle Peckerhead a while ago. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I had fun watching it. There was a movie that came out last year called We Summon the Darkness.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I don't know if you've seen that or not, but
I haven't seen that.
It kind of revolves around music a little bit. Basically, these people go to a heavy metal concert, and as they leave, they meet these four girls, and they talk these three guys into coming back to their house with them. Well, these four girls are actually they're killers, and they're Hail Satan kind of killers, Yeah. Very cool movie. It's called We Summon the Darkness. And it was just a fun watch. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a lot of good blood in it and a lot of what the fuck just happened,
Yeah.
But, pretty girls and, stupid metalheads.
It kind of reminds me of that movie Babysitter. The Babysitter.
Oh, The Babysitter. Have you seen both of those movies?
I enjoyed the first one. I didn't care for the second one.
The second one, it was okay, but the first one was just fantastic.
Like, what the fuck? But
and the chicken that was just smoking on her.
For me, I would have to say Peninsula.
See, I still need to see that. That's one I want to see this week.
I would definitely watch
Need
it.
to write
Peninsula
that
is
down.
good.
Peninsula.
I mean, granted,
that's the Train to Busan.
yes. Yep. Yep.
Wait, what?
Train to Busan. It's like a part. It's not. It's kind of like a part two, I guess you'd say, or a sequel.
Oh shit! I love the Train.
I think it's called Train to Busan Peninsula.
Yes, that's the name of it. Yep. Yeah. It's
hell. I don't even
fucking-
know how to spell here.
You'll see.
Peninsula.
It comes up as Peninsula on the thing on the Fire Stick.
There are a few that I wanted to get your thoughts on, Bill.
Okay. Yep.
What'd you think of The Hunt?
That's a fun film. That's a really fun film. And I know that Mr. Trump didn't care for it and he banned it for a while. But it's funny because it makes fun of left wing as much as it does right wing.
100%.
Yes.
It makes fun of everybody.
Yeah, and it's got a neat little twist at the end.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I thought it was great.
You know, you talk about big star power. You know, you've got Emma Roberts on there, of course, and you really don't expect that to happen. I don't want to get into it because people that haven't seen it, but a very fun movie to
Hilary
watch.
Swank.
Hilary Swank.
That's a serious contender for my top 10 of the year.
That's a great movie.
Oh yeah,
Great
definitely. And then the main star of that, Betty Gilpin. The first time I saw her, she did, and I don't know if you've watched this, but there was a show on Netflix called Glow.
Is that the drug one?
No. That's all about wrestling. Glow is gorgeous
Glow.
ladies of wrestling.
Oh, I thought you said blow.
No. Glow.
Okay.
And she was one of the main actresses in that. She was one of the wrestlers. And then when I saw she was in this movie, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that.
That's good. It's definitely good.
Cool movie. And then you kind of touched on this the last time we talked, and I have not gotten a chance, honestly, because I forgot about it. You had talked about Gretel and Hansel.
Gretel and Hansel. It's an interesting. It's basically a retelling of the story, but it's dark. It's a dark fairy tale.
Yeah. One of those Grimm's fairy tales.
Now, I did see one the other night that's on Netflix that anybody can see if you play. It's called The Platform.
The Platform.
Okay, I have seen that, but I haven't bothered to watch it yet.
It's a Spanish film, but they dub it. So you can watch. I would have preferred the original with the subs, but they dubbed it. But the theory, I went in blind. I knew nothing about it.
Right.
And what it's about is people are in this jail that's 200 and something levels high. And there's a hole in the middle, or not a hole, it's a rectangular opening through the entire jail. And on level 1, it's a whole platter of food. And it goes down subsequently. And you only get X amount of time to eat. And if you're below a certain level, you have to hope that people have left food for you. The further down you go.
Gotcha.
So it's a bit of a survival film. It's a bit of a what would you do in this situation? And every month they switch up your level. So you might be on level 2 where you got a whole smorgasbord full. Or you might be on level 178 where you're fucked and you have to kill the person in your cell.
So they'll survive. Yeah.
It's kind of a neat, I wouldn't say
I'm going to have to check that out.
I wouldn't say it's the greatest film, but it certainly is interesting.
We talked about this, and I don't know if you've had a chance to watch it, that 32 Malasanya Street.
No, and because it's in the States for you guys, it's on Shudder.
Yes, it is.
We have Shudder. I don't have Shudder, so I have to look around for it.
I got you. Yeah, it popped up again today, and it reminded me about it.
Yeah, somebody had watched it in our group, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a Spanish film, and it was very good, very good. It was subtitled, though.
The other one I saw this week that I don't know if you have anything for Jackson.
I have seen that pop up, and I've heard it's really good, but I haven't watched it yet.
I won't. Not bad. It's a supernatural-ish, so you probably up your guy's alley.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably like that.
And you've seen Unhinged?
I have not watched that. I think you watched that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a good.
If you've seen the one a few years back with Michael Douglas, where he kind of loses it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was oh shit!
I forget that one, but it's kind of that ilk.
Something falling down. Falling down. Is what
it's of that ilk. It's worth it. And of course, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, that's on my queue. I got my queue lined up.
Have you gotten a chance to watch You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon?
No. Is it good?
It is very good. It's one of those. There's a little bit of horror to it, but it's one of those mindfuck movies.
So is it more thriller?
It is. It is. Basically, they've moved into a house and they think the house is haunted, but it's very good. Very good. Somebody had brought it up. We were doing a live show and somebody had brought that up and I ended up watching it and I was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, it's cool because
it's Kevin Bacon and that Amanda Seyfried.
Okay.
Very good movie.
There's
the one I brought. I was going to say the one I brought up last time was The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Yeah. See, man, I'm telling you, you need to hook up. We're gonna get you hooked up with DB because or DA. I'm sorry, with DA because you'll love his books, and he's a great guest to talk about, especially stuff like that, werewolves and things like that.
Yeah, and he's our age, Bill. So
okay, the other one you've never brought up is Yummy.
I did watch that. There's a
burning scene.
Yes, that's the best way to put it. Yes. It's like a nitrogen kind of, yeah. If you've ever woken up the next morning and there's a bit of a burning sensation. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then this is kind of a little off, not really horror related, but can be considered, I guess. There's a movie called The Old Guard with Charlize Theron.
That's not really horror. What are you talking about?
It kind of is if you know the story behind it.
I love it.
It's more action than horror, but there's a twist to it, and the twist they tell you really early in the movie. So it's pretty good.
I like it.
Pretty damn good.
One of the movies you talked about on your preview for 2021 that I've seen is Spell.
Yes.
Yeah. I have seen Spell, and it was on the verge of my top 10. I think for me it fell off in the last 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it does have that creepiness you guys were talking about, the voodoo-ish, the dolls, the down south, the Appalachia mountain, like that kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. And one more I'll bring attention to your audience that I really liked is called After Midnight. And After Midnight is directed and stars Jeremy Gardner.
Okay.
If you know who he is.
Why does that name sound familiar?
He was in The Battery. He's in Bliss.
Oh, okay.
It's also got Bree Grant, who was in Dexter, and she's done a bunch. It starts off and you watch it and you don't think there's much horror. It's a guy whose girlfriend has left him. He's got in an abandoned house and some kind of monster is attacking the house at night. And it's more about the relationship in him and why he fucked up. But every once in a while, this little monster comes. Then you're thinking, no, this isn't a horror film. And then right at the end, boom. It's worth sticking around till the end for.
Oh, dude, what was that movie with Kevin Durant? I want to say It Comes at Night, but that's not it.
There's a movie. I know that.
Yeah, there is a movie called It Comes at Night. Kevin Durant, I don't know if you know, did you ever watch that series, The Strain?
No, but I know of it.
Okay, well, Kevin Durant was one of the main characters on that.
Have you seen Legion?
No.
Yes, yeah. He did a movie. It came out in 2015. Dark Was the Night, and it was pretty creepy and trippy. It was kind of like what you're describing with this After Midnight. It was kind of a similar thing. It was a creature feature, but you don't really see the creatures until close to the end of the movie.
Okay.
It's just on the edge of your seat kind of thing. It was called Dark Was the Night. But like I said, it came out in 2014.
And then one I saw the other night was called, from 2020, Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Alone, yes.
Have you seen that?
Was that Japanese or something? Yeah.
No, this one is a woman driving her car.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, I was thinking of Alive.
Oh, Alive I've seen too. Yeah, that's not a bad
yeah.
film.
Yeah.
But Alone is a woman driving her car at night, and she runs into the same guy a couple times, and he kidnaps her.
Thanks for the ride.
Nice.
And she's in this abandoned, or not abandoned, a rural cabin in the woods, and it's her fight for survival and the trip out. It's
okay.
It's
Nice.
not a bad watch.
Man, you got all kinds of
Right on.
Last year when I made my list for 2019, I'd watched over 100 films from that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, my problem is finding the time right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Well, he's in, shelter at home here, so.
Yeah, but I mean, once my daughter goes to bed by 7 o'clock, my wife knows from 7 till 10.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah.
I will sacrifice my basic human needs to watch movies.
Yeah.
Nice. Just keep you an empty bottle beside the couch so you can pee.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right on, man.
I was going to say, I refuse to pee because I want to see the end of the film. So hurry up. Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
Yeah,
hurry up. Come on, get to the point.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Bill, we've had a blast as usual. Well, we really
come back on for something.
On.
And at Phantom Galaxy, we look forward to having you on in a couple of weeks.
Awesome
brother.
We will exchange some pleasantries and make that happen. Especially
so everybody
if we can
listen
do it like this,
I was going to say, so everybody listen to Land of the Creeps and listen to Phantom Galaxy, and we always promote you guys on our site, so it's all one big happy horror family.
And we're trying to do the same with you. How can they find you guys, though?
They can find me at Land of the Creeps, landofthecreeps.blogspot.com.
Okay.
phantomgalaxy.podbean. Sorry, bean as in I'm eating a bean. phantomgalaxy.podbean.com. I'm on Letterboxd. I'm on Facebook. I'm not tough to find. I'll get to you eventually if you contact me.
Hell
right on, brother. Right on.
Yeah.
It was
And
good having you.
Everybody.
If they're on those servers, you guys can find them on any podcast app.
Spotify, Apple, Google, Player FM, iHeartRadio, wherever you can get a podcast, you can find us. And our tagline is keeping horror alive one movie at a time.
Nice.
Right.
Well, Bill, we appreciate you being on, bud.
Yep.
I'll see you anytime you want me.
All right.
Right on,
We're
brother.
going to make that happen. Thanks, Bill.
Let me know what you think about Ginger. I sent you those links.
Yeah, I saw the links cup already, so I'm going to go upstairs, give my wife a kiss, and listen to Ginger.
Nice.
Yeah. Right on,
All
brother.
right. See you, man.
Talk to you guys later.
Later, bro.
These measures